Politics and geopolitics news. Trump's new law passed. Yesterday, the U.S. Senate passed President Trump's big beautiful law, opening their way for a final vote in the House of Representatives. Trump assures that once this law is passed, America will enter a golden age, taxes will go down, businesses will boom, and the economy will surge. But this is the most controversial law of recent years. Why? Economists are seriously worried. They estimate that the law could further accelerate the budget deficit and the national debt, which are already at record levels. This could lead to lower incomes for households and businesses, increase pressure on the dollar, and significantly weaken U.S. global influence. It is for this reason that Musk has begun to criticize Trump. Trump, us and India able to reach trade deal within a week. Israel agreed to terms of 60-day Gaza ceasefire. Trump. Iranian president issues decree suspending cooperation with IAEA. China continues to buy oil from Iran despite tougher sanctions. Bloomberg. Trump messages that he's closed a trade deal with Vietnam. 20% duty on Vietnam. Financial and stock market news. Trump says he has 2 to 3 candidates to head the Fed. Trump, rate should be 3% lower. JP Morgan launches $50 billion buyback and company will increase dividend. Coffee down -35% in 5 months. Europe set an all-time record for LNG imports for the month in June. Gas infrastructure Europe, data. U.S. Treasury Chief Bessent said the Fed could cut rates as soon as September. Bezos sold $737 million of Amazon stock. Gold prices in 1H 2025 record growth since 2007. Morgan believes oil prices could fall to $60 a barrel in early 2026 on the back of reduced geopolitical risks and strong growth in non-OPEC supply. China's Expan manages to maintain sales pace over its rivals. CNBC. Alibaba expands cloud-based RE services in Malaysia and the Philippines. International managers continue to hedge against a further fall in the US dollar against major world currencies. Reuters. 1H 2025 was the worst first half of the year for the dollar in 52 years. Lockheed Martin awarded $3 billion contract for Aegis missile defense system. Intel's new CEO considers overhauling chip manufacturing strategy to attract big customers. Reuters. Major US banks start raising dividends and launching buybacks after passing stress tests. Bloomberg. Geely raised its sales forecast for 2025 after strong growth in the first half of the year. Warner Music wants to cut costs by $300 million, announces staff cuts. China is rapidly eroding America's lead in the global RE race. Wall Street Journal. KKR buys UK-based Spectri for $6.5 billion. Geely will enter the British market with the X5 electric SUV in the fourth quarter. Alibaba will spend $7 billion in the next 12 months on various coupons and vouchers to entice businesses and consumers to use its delivery and e-commerce services domestically. Tesla China sold 71,599 vehicles in June. This is the first YOY monthly sales increase in 8 months. World CBS stepped up gold reserve purchases in May after 2 months of declines. WGC. Amazon already has 1 million robots in production. Each robot packer in a warehouse can replace 24 workers. US M2 money supply volume breaks records. Congressional Budget Office, CBO, the new price tag of Trump's tax bill passed by the Senate is a $3.4 trillion increase in the budget deficit. IMF, ECB should keep key rate at 2% unless a new shock significantly alters the inflation outlook. Netflix will show NASA broadcast starting summer 2025. US, ad non-farm employment, June, equals -34K. CNBC, private sector lost 33,000 jobs in June, well below expectations. After ad non-farm employment report, traders started betting heavily on Fed rate cut in July. Bloomberg. Tesla reports worse than forecast for 2Q 2025 deliveries, but not much worse, production better than forecasts. Tesla delivered 384,122 vehicles worldwide in Q2 equals minus 13.48% YOY. Microsoft to cut 9,000 employees in second wave of layoffs. Canada, manufacturing PMI, June, equals 45.6. Hong Kong could once again become the world's leading IPO platform in 2025. 90 to 100 companies could IPO in Hong Kong in 2025, PwC. Tesla quarterly sales trends. IPO volume in London in January-June fell to lowest since 1997, Bloomberg. Rivian shipments fell sharply in 2Q due to duties. Dig, NATO's 5% defense commitment could open up $2.7 trillion for US contractors. Crude oil, EIA stocks. Crude equals plus 3.8 for 5 million. US Strategic Petroleum Reserve stockpile level rose to highest since October 2022, US Department of Energy. Robinhood shares hit a new record high. Yesterday Robinhood announced the launch of tokenized shares trading in the EU, staking and its own blockchain. Crypto World News. Chinese company Weebus has raised $100 million to buy XRP for its balance sheet. Ethereum Foundation has raised millions to increase the value of ETH. Design app Figma has filed for an IPO and said in its filing that it holds a $70 million BTC ETF on its balance sheet. On May 8, the company's board approved a $30 million BTC investment plan under which the company purchased an equivalent amount of USD to convert into BTC. CryptoRank, top 10 decentralized crypto exchanges, DEX, by trading volumes on spot over the last 30 days. DeFi Development Corp to raise $100 million for further SOL purchases for balance sheet and to buy back its own shares. Arizona governor vetoes bill to create a reserve from confiscated cryptocurrencies. In 1H 2025, public companies purchased a total of 245,510 BTC, roughly 2x the amount absorbed by ETFs over the same period and 375% more than the same period in 2024. Report. US Treasury Department head Bessent has spoken out in favor of privately regulated dollar stablecoins that would buy up US government debt. Bessent spoke out against the CBDC. He said that, the government can shut down CBDC at any time. In June, the Solana network processed about 3 billion transactions, 2.4 times more than all other networks combined, Artemis data. Ripple has partnered with OpenPay to promote its Rust stablecoin. 21 Capital CEO Jack Mallers said the company's strategy is to buy as much BTC as possible after they IPO. Bit Digital has raised $163 million to buy ETH for its balance sheet. Robinhood launches tokenized shares on Arbitrum ahead of European trading launch. Standard Chartered suggests BTC could reach $135,000 by 3Q 2025 amid growing institutional interest. Standard Chartered reiterates its forecast for BTC $200,000 by the end of 2025. Drivers. Inflows into ETFs. Corporates buying on balance sheets. Regulation. CIO Bitwise predicts inflows into ETH ETF could reach $10 billion in 2H 2025. Coinbase buys token manager Liquify. Canada's Mogo to allocate $50 million to buy BTC for balance sheet. Mogo equals plus 122%. For 3 consecutive quarters, public companies have bought more BTC than spot BTC ETFs, CNBC. Genius Group bought another 20 BTC for the balance sheet. Bybit, Kraken, and Robinhood are now using Solana and Arbitrum blockchains to tokenize stocks. All 3 exchanges recently announced the launch of tokenized stock trading. Italian banking group Banca Seller is launching a pilot project to store stable coins. JP Morgan to start tokenizing carbon units. In the US, Rex shares stacked SOL ETF trading has stalled. Valor announced the launch of 8 new SEC-denominated crypto ETFs on the Swedish stock market Spotlight, BCH, Leo, OKB, Paul, Algo, Phil, ARB, STX. The number of digital EP assets from Valor now exceeds 75. Bounce plans to launch tokenized stock products in the fourth quarter, covering stocks, ETFs and bonds from major markets including the US, Europe, Hong Kong and Japan. DeFi Development Corp has raised $113 million for further SOL purchases on the balance sheet. Stablecoins account for 75% of all cryptocurrency payments in Europe, research. The Trump family's revenues from projects like World Liberty Financial and Trump have grown by at least $620 million in just a few months. Stablecoin $1 could fetch Trump about $100 million this year, Bloomberg. BlackRock is already making more money on its BTC ETF than its SP 500 ETF, Bloomberg. For the first time, a Belgian bank, Bolero, will start offering crypto ETFs to its clients.